Hey there folks, John here with Through My Lens, and today I'm coming to you with another knife review. This time I am reviewing the Brous Blades T4, and I certainly hope I'm pronouncing Jason Brous' last name correctly. My apologies if I'm not, Jason. But this is one of his newest offerings, the T4 Tactical Flipper. This video review is a supplement to my written photo review that you'll find on my website, throughmylens.org. There'll be a link in the description box to the written photo review where all the nitty-gritty details are going to be. I'm going to really have a lot of photos and a lot of in-depth detail. This is a video supplement just to get some video footage and some comparisons, size comparisons, and just some thoughts on video. Last knife review I did for you guys was this one, the ZT777 M390. And when I reviewed that, I talked about wanting to find the ultimate tactical flipper, and I talked about the reasons why. What I didn't say is that I actually mentioned that I ordered two knives simultaneously when I ordered the 777. I also ordered the T4. Couldn't decide between them based on what I was seeing on the websites. I'm not real familiar with Jason Brous, never had one of his products before. But he is a smaller custom knife maker who does do some mid-tech or what he calls semi-custom offerings, the T4 being one of them. It's a limited edition run of 500 units, and you can see if you look real close, I actually have trouble seeing it myself, but it's written right in here. It's stamped very innocuously that this is example number 102 of 500. So it's a relatively small production run for mid-tech slash semi-custom, as Jason calls them. I kind of like that term as well. He considers it mid-tech because first of all, it's entirely U.S. made. All the components are U.S. made and produced, and he does all of the finishing work on the blade himself, in terms of the sharpening and the finishing, and boy, that satin finish that's on there is just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. One of the big draws to the knife for me was that beautiful satin finish, and he also assembles and hand fits each knife together. Because of that, he recommends that folks do not take the knives apart. He says that once you take them apart, they never go back together quite the same way. The screws that are on both sides here, he says that they use a special device which puts those screws in at a very specific pressure, which you obviously couldn't duplicate by hand. Does not invalidate the warranty, he said, if you do disassemble it, and if you run into problems, you can always send it back to him, and he'll do his best to try to fix any problems you run into. But again, he doesn't recommend you take it apart. I haven't done that yet. I haven't decided whether I am or am not. I do tend to like to take them apart and tinker with them a little bit, but as of now, I haven't taken it apart. But I have had this for a couple weeks now, and really impressed with it. I can tell you it fits my hand wonderfully. The curvature of the handles here really makes for an ergonomically fantastic fit in your hand. The jimping is wonderful, and you've kind of got a blended jimping here on the G10 liners and then the blade itself. So you have different size jimping, so you're gonna really get nice traction, and it doesn't hurt. It's not too aggressive. Neither is the G10 too aggressive. It's a very attractive G10 with some nice 3D machining, nice pattern put into it, but it's also very grippy without being overly aggressive. I like it a lot. And of course, the ball bearing system that he uses in the pivot makes this just an incredibly smooth knife that just flies open, super fast. I'd be really hard pressed to say which one flips better in comparing the 777 M390 and the T4. That's pretty high praise because there's a lot of folks that'll tell you there's not a better flipper out there than the 777. So there's a little size comparison for you. Um, the T4 is a little thicker, but very comparable length to the uh, T4. The T4 is just a little bit longer, both in the handle and in the blade, but very comparable. Let's see what else I've got over here to compare to. Here is a ZT-0550, which a lot of folks have or have at least handled, so should make for a better comparison. You can see again the size differences in the handle. We'll open them up again. So there's definitely a tactical advantage lengthwise with the T4, but it doesn't carry that much differently than the 0550. I got it primarily as a weekend and evening carry. This wasn't something I'd usually carry with like dress pants into the office, but you can. I've got a couple pairs of Dockers that have a little knife pocket inside, and it rests very nicely in there, and I didn't have any problems carrying it all day. It didn't print badly or make my pants feel too heavy, so really enjoyed it. Again, the quality here is exceptional. Probably my only gripe is the pocket clip. And it's a small one because overall I like the design of the pocket clip. I like that it follows the curvature of the handle here and integrates nicely. It's very deep carry. It's mounted about as high as you can get onto the handle. It's just really tight. It's really tight. Hopefully it'll loosen up with time, but you've really got to work to get that over your pants and get it clipped in the pocket because it is really tight. Other than that, it's just really blown me away in quality. This is a collaboration, one of Jason's first collaboration models. Looking at his website and his other products, as I said, I didn't know a whole lot about Jason Brous. Knew he was an up-and-comer making a name for himself, and some of his designs were a little bit out there for me. I'm kind of more of a mainstream, I guess, boring in what I like. So some of his designs were a little out there for me and not as practical as what I like. But this collaboration design that he's done, just really impressed with it. He uses D2 blade steel. Honestly, not my favorite blade steel. I've had D2 before, and I've had problems with D2 in getting it sharp. Honestly, there's nothing wrong with D2, and a lot of knife makers use it, and a lot of people like D2 because of its properties. It's perfectly fine and acceptable. I just find it a little difficult to sharpen. Jason does say that he's going to be coming out with some S30V knife blades. Hopefully, he'll come out with a T4 and S30V because I think I'd like it just that much better. But this particular knife, he says he uses D2 primarily because he's got the heat treat down pat, and I can certainly understand that. Once you've got a recipe for success, why mess with it? And I can tell you that this knife came out of the box sharper than any other knife that I've ever had. impressively sharp, hair popping sharp, and just the finishing on is just gorgeous. I would prefer this if you laid down a Hinderer, a Strider, a Chris Reeve. I'd pick this one each and every time, almost on aesthetics alone. Then when you pick up the knife and you see how well it feels in your hand, it's beefy without being obnoxious. It just when you pick that up, it inspires confidence as a life saving tool, as something to defend your life with. The lock, it's a liner lock, and it's plenty secure. There's no side-to-side play really to speak of. There's no up and down play. Very secure lock, and again, just a lightning fast action on the flipper that I can deploy very easy left-handed or right-handed. If this was a knife coming from a Hinderer or a Strider, you'd see a $400 plus price point. Jason sells this on his website while supplies last. Again, this is a 500 unit run, but he sells them at $259, which is an incredible value for a mid-tech knife. I mean, that's $259. There are Spydercos and ZTs and Benchmade's the street for $259. To get a mid-tech knife from a small, personable knife maker. I had some questions about the knife. I went to the website, filled out the form to send an email, and Jason wrote me back within minutes. The guy's very responsive, answered my questions, seemed very nice to work with, which is a plus for me because I've had some well-documented challenges just trying to work with some of these prima donna knife makers that are out there. But Jason seems to be, he's a young guy, again, pretty new in the industry, making a name for himself, and I look forward to see what he's got in the future. Highly recommend the T4 if you're looking for a good tactical folder. Do check this out. Hope you enjoyed this video. Lots more coming, so please subscribe to the channel if you're not. Take care, God bless, we'll see you in the next video.